are. Okay. This is the regular Parking Authority meeting of April 22nd, 2020. And I will do a little roll call to make sure we have a quorum, and then we'll move on. And please answer vocally so that we can meet all the rules of Zoom. Mike Harden
Here.
is answered. Judd Ailey,
Here.
Tom Vetter,
Here.
and Eric Rains.
Here.
And I'm Dick Brusher, and I am here. We do have a quorum. From public comments or for Kathy, do you have anything from the email of any? You have none.
I did not
Okay.
receive any emails.
Okay. And Sabrina, how about you?
I have 0 attendees or other participants, so we're all set.
Okay. So that ends the public comment type of this meeting, and we'll move right along. Under new business, we have the approval of the Parking Authority, the minutes for the Parking Authority of February 26th. Sorry, we didn't get them to you last month, but obviously a few things have happened between that particular meeting, which was kind of pre-virus, and now. Does anyone have, and raise your hands if you do, so I don't have to go around the room. Do you have any additions or corrections to that February 26th? I have none. Anyone? That being the case, can I have a motion from someone
I'll make that motion. It's Michael.
to approve the meetings, the minutes?
Yes.
Second?
I'll second
This
it.
is Tom.
Thank you. All those in favor, raise your hand, please. Okay, Eric, Mike, Tom, Judd, and me. We need to approve the minutes then for the special meeting that we had on April 15th. Again, I have no additions or corrections. Does anybody have any additions or corrections for that? Any of those, that meeting?
No.
I see none. A motion, please.
This is Tom. I'll move approval.
Thank you, Tom. Second.
It's Michael.
Eric.
I'll second. Eric, fine.
Okay. All those in favor? Let me go around the room so we get vocally. Judd? In favor?
Yes, I'm in favor.
Tom is obviously in favor. Mike?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
And I am too. So those minutes are approved. The third item on our agenda now is the discussion and the action on suspensions of the parking fees through May 31st. So it's proposed that we suspend the parking fees through the end of the month of May. We do know that the governor has put a hold on school openings until almost the end of May, May 20th. And this is something we had a discussion about at the last meeting. I don't know if there's any a discussion you want to have about it, but I'm open to hear anything. Otherwise, I'd like someone to propose that we suspend the parking fees through the month of May.
I'll make that motion. This is Michael. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the parking fees through the end of May.
Thank you. A second.
This is Tom. I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Tom. All those in favor? Again, I'll go around by vocally. Judd?
Yes, I'm in favor.
Tom, obviously you are. Mike? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
And I am. So that's 100%. And we will suspend those through the month of May coming up. Now the discussion and action on the use of the Parking Authority fund, the fund balance, to cover the projected shortfalls. I know that Kathy has put together a couple of slides to kind of highlight what we're doing. And even though we discussed it in the past, I think, and Mike, maybe it was you who thought it might be a good idea to have a couple of visuals to summarize that. So Catherine, can you do that for us, the slides you put together on that?
Yep. Okay. Ugh, how do I move? I don't know how to move this over. Let's see if I can get it smaller. Well, I don't, yeah, these are two, let's see. Oh, there we go.
It's fine on my screen.
No, I got it.
Same
It
here.
was just on, it was on my screen. I had all of you up on the right-hand side, and so it was blocking everything. So this first slide shows the projected revenue impact versus the approved budgets. And this is on the assumption based on option 1, which is the 50% recovery from June through September. And we use that because that is what was discussed last week as it relates to the use of the fund balance. So we wanted to show you what that meant from a financial point of view. So you already approved both April and May, suspending the fees. And against the budgeted revenue, you can see what the revenue impact is. Then the 50% from June through September, you can see what that would look like for a total just revenue. This doesn't include expenses or net operating budget. It's just the revenue impact between April and September based on option 1, 50% recovery between June and September is a little over $2.5 million. Any questions on that? Okay,
No.
Hearing none, I will go to the next slide. This slide shows the use of the fund balance and the net operating budget shortfall. This is the analysis. So through the end of fiscal year 20, which is the end of June, the net operating budget shortfall is $964,681. And I will get back to what the asterisk means in a minute. Then for the first quarter of fiscal year 21, July through September, that net operating budget shortfall is $653,925. So the total between April and, April through the first quarter is $1,446,604. The fiscal year ending 2019 audited fund balance, as we discussed before, is $2,840,024. So assuming that after you approve, that will leave that with $1,393,420. So with the $964,681, this was includes again through the end of this fiscal year and actual revenue collections and expenses through March 2020. It also includes reduced enforcement collections after March 13th, which is when COVID hit and things started changing. It includes expense reductions of $990,919. It also includes an accrued revenue through the end of February of $614,946. So for this fiscal year. So if you did not accrue the $614,946, then that net operating shortfall would be $2,061,750, which would leave a balance available of $778,274. So the other thing I want to point out is that pre-COVID, and we talked about this last week, the parking authority had an approved strategic plan and was looking at using those funds to assist the city of Norwalk through parking programs and economic development initiatives. So now, and again, through smart budgeting, thankfully, this is now going to be used to assist the community and recommend some recoveries while providing essential services. So that's what I have right now for the slides. Are there any questions?
Catherine, just one quick question.
Yep.
This is Michael.
Yep.
964,000 and 653,000. Are you adding those two numbers to get to the 1,446,000?
They're different fiscal years.
Right. So I just, because those two numbers don't add up to 1.4 million.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that to Staffy to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, this is Stathi. So I think, Catherine, we may have given you the, when we were reworking these numbers, that breakup got mixed with the latest version you have. So the number, the total net operating shortfall is correct, the 1,446.
Yep.
But the breakdown is off. The 964,681 is correct. The July through September is supposed to be 481,923.
481.
923.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
Sorry. Thanks, Steph.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, we apologize for that. It's everything keeps changing literally on a day. It's like every day is Groundhog Day. So, all right, glad we got that straightened out. But the bottom line is 1,446,604. Any other questions?
Okay, that being the case, again, I'm looking for a proposal for the parking authority to authorize the use of the fund balances to not to exceed this amount of $1,454,000.
So I'll make a motion to, what is the wording here? To use the fund balance for that amount? Is that what I
can't. I don't know what happened to Dick. It looks like he cut out. Do you want me to read it?
Well, no, but we've, I guess you should. We did discuss how this motion should be worded.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. So, hang on a second. All right. So discussion action on the use of the Norwalk Parking Authority fund balance to cover projected operating budget shortfalls for fiscal year ending 2020 for the months of March through June 2020, and for fiscal year 2021 for the months of July through September 2020 related to COVID-19 impact on operations and programs for a sum not to exceed $1,446,604.
Yes, so that's the motion that I make. Yes?
We lost Dick again.
So is there a second on that motion?
This is Tom. I'll second that, Mike.
Okay, before we take a vote, I think Stathi has a few words.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Catherine, should there be, you want us to clarify kind of what that 1.4 million reflects, just so everybody
Yeah,
is on the
that's
same
a good
page?
idea.
So the 1,446,604 just represents what you need to break even at the end of September. So that gets you to zero. that means your fund balance, your net operating surplus through September, which was budgeted to be 328,000, will now be zero. So if your intention is to get back to where you were from a budget perspective and be whole, then you need to add 328,000 to that.
But this is Eric. But weren't there reductions in operations that may not be back in place by then? So if we return to budget, then would that be too much? Or is that it's the budget's not reflective of, let's say we're fully reinstated on parking fees and permit fees tomorrow. We've had a reduction in operating costs. So in effect, we would be generating more money than we need because there's no new budget. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, but as you ramp up, there's going to be additional expenses that are incurred because of the additional revenue and the additional.
But is that the case? I mean, do we know that?
No, I'm sorry if I'm not trying to complicate it. All I just want to make sure you understand is that the analysis that we were asked to do is what's it look like with these changes at 50%, and what's the shortfall going to be? So that's just to get you to zero.
Yeah,
so that's
I'm just saying that I don't know that using our budgeted numbers makes sense because they're not the real numbers any longer.
But we don't know what that is. So we had to make some assumptions to get to that number.
Yeah,
and yes,
and
you're absolutely right, Eric. That might change. That definitely might change.
Right. And we're not saying that you need to add that together. All I'm saying is that if you want it to be at that same point, that's where it was in the budget. So
right. And I think we agreed that we were going to do that based on the fact that next month we're going to talk about it all over again based on what may or may not have happened in a month. In the month of May. So basically what this does is this frees up enough of the fund balance money to get us to September while we wait to see what happens each month.
Yes, agreed. Okay.
Right, and that's what we were tasked to do, is to come up with something for this month. And then next month, which you talked about last week, was that you'll keep looking at this every month. And as expenses come in, we'll be able to show that.
So if there's no more discussion, we have a motion and a second on the floor. And we have enough. Do we have to wait for Dick to come back, or should we just vote?
I think we should just vote.
Yeah.
If we have a quorum, let's
We
vote.
do have a quorum.
Yep.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's everybody. Okay, we passed that. Catherine, did you get Dick back?
He's gonna call in because where he's at, the wind knocked him out.
Okay, you want to go to the we voted and passed that. Do you want to
Mhm.
go to the next point on
Yep.
the agenda?
Yes, I do. And those are your recovery options. And I'm going to share the screen again. And Sathi's going to talk about that as soon as I can find it. There we go. Okay, Stath, there you go. Stathi?
I got to unmute, forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
So basically what you just voted and approved was option one. So I'm not sure if you need to go through the other two, but basically everything Catherine just mentioned before and Eric chimed in on is right here. What the revenue reduction was of 2.7 million. Expense reduction was over 990,000. And the net operating shortfall to break even was the 1,446,604 that you just approved. And you can see the other options. Do I need to go through those at this point, or?
Well, I think it makes sense. What we wanted to show you here was the two options that we spoke about last week. And then Eric and Judd came up with an option 3. We stopped it at September so that we were comparing through the same time period.
Right. So option 2 was a gradual between June through September, a gradual reinstatement of the parking rates from 50% up to 80%. And you can see how that impacts things. Obviously, revenue, there's more revenue generated, and there's less of a shortfall to break even at the end of September. And the option 3 was a different graduation in rates coming back into effect, and that ended up resulting in $1.5 million shortfall. So what you approved is somewhere in the middle.
Again,
Thank
we're gonna revisit this in a month. So
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
What's on this, your agenda is just information and discussion.
yes,
Okay, Catherine, is there one more slide you want to show us?
There's just one more to show the peaks and valleys of the different options. So as you can see, pre-COVID, and then suspension of the fees, April and May, goes all the way down. And then the different options, the first one, the 50% across. Option 2 is the 50 to 80%. And option 3 is the 25, 50, and 75%. It is more a visual of the peaks and valleys of those, the revenue reductions based on different recovery options.
Thank you.
and Catherine, not for this meeting or conversation, but is it easy to generate these charts on a smaller increment scale than by month?
Smaller increment.
You know, like by week. I'm just, there's some things I'm curious about that we don't need to get into now, but like, could you do by week since February?
We have data by, I'm gonna stop sharing this so I can see what's going on. We have data on a daily basis.
Okay,
We
all
can
right,
talk about what you want to see, and we can
Okay.
certainly give that to you.
all right, that's fine. All right,
Yes,
all right, awesome.
we have the
Thanks.
data.
Cool.
I am back.
Hey,
There you are.
there he is.
Can you hear me? Apparently the wind that's blowing up here has screwed up my internet, but I got a little note saying it's unstable. I'm assuming that we had a vote on the fund balance, did we?
We did.
But thank you very much, Mike, for taking that one over.
No problem.
And now we're doing the options. A comment on what Eric just said. I heard part of that conversation. There was a lot of confusion when we had the last meeting, and we talked about the different plans that Stathis and Catherine had put together for us, the 2 plans we had. You may have read somewhere that they said that we were going to start charging parking in June, which was wrong, and they corrected that. These are tools. So you've got 3 tools now to use as we look to go forward over the next several months. As you know, we already have a special meeting planned for May 13th. And so if Eric or Mike or whoever just made that comment, you're right. We're going to be reviewing this thing every couple of weeks as we go forward. And so right now, we now have 3 options to look at. We don't know what's going to happen in June. I don't know that anyone does, but we will have more information when we meet on the 13th of May. And I've asked the mayor to join us again to give us the more recent input on where the city stands at the time. So I think these things are to look over and see what the different options are that we have, and what the implications are from a financial point of view, because you have those three options that are there, and we may have variations on those options as well. Any other comments on this, what we're doing right now? And I'm hoping everybody can make that meeting on the 13th of May. And if not, let Catherine know, and we'll try to reorganize another thing. Let me add one thing before I go blank again here, and that is something on kind of an upbeat from the chairman's report. I guess everybody here knows what IPMI is. I didn't, but it's the International Parking and Mobility Institute. 5,000 professionals from around the world. And our own Catherine has been elected to the board of directors on this. This is an organization that leads leaders in parking and mobility, and they serve communities all over the world. And so congratulations, Catherine, on that. We're proud of you. That's good.
Very nice.
Okay. Any other comments on the recovery plan from anyone? Nothing. How about any other business?
Dick, this is Tom.
Yes, Tom.
Just, I dropped the ball on one of the sets of minutes. On February 26th, Eric is listed as being there and also being absent. So I don't think he can be both. But if you read the minutes, he voted and made motions and stuff. So just take him off the absentee list.
Well, Eric is a very special person, and he can do wonderful things. But that one is hard to do. I agree with you, Tom.
Kind of.
It's a twin. Thank you, Tom. We'll take care of it.
Thanks, Tom.
Repost.
Okay. When our next meeting is, I will entertain a motion. Yes, Mike.
I just have one more little piece of business we wanted to.
Oh, yes. Yes.
We just wanted to acknowledge the fact that Mike Oz came to us a few months ago with a presentation and a letter, and in his public comments asked us to review certain things that he was asking for us. And in light of this COVID thing, we have kind of we have tabled him for now, but on the record, I'd like to say that we will absolutely get back to him and his letter for review and comments.
I think that's fine. Catherine, I think you've had a conversation with Mike.
Yeah.
And Mike understands that the way things stand right now, no matter what recovery plan we use, and let's hope we get to use the recovery plan, he's going to be protected for a considerable period of time.
Right.
But that's a good point, Mike, and we will get back to him. Anything else from anyone? Jesse, you got anything? No? Okay.
She's muted.
She's muted. Okay.
Can I say something, Dick?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to let you know that all of these numbers that we put together, it's a team effort. It's a collaboration between myself, Rocky, and Stathi. It's not just Kathy's numbers. We put some effort into it, and it does change on a daily basis because life is changing right now on a daily basis. So as we get information, we have to pivot and adjust. And I want to make sure that you have all of the updated information as much as possible. So I wanted to mention that.
Okay, thank you. Tom,
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
does anyone want to second that motion?
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Mike did. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.